and welcome to the absolutely glorious sunny day that we're having on the absolutely confusing 29th of February. This is why I'm not in science. I don't understand leap years. What happens if you're born on the 29th? Do you just pick one? Like you're suddenly either the 28th of February or the 1st of March? I don't trust this though, because we are definitely in this weird period of time that a lot of Canadians, especially from like Ontario East, know as Fool's Spring, which is just the point where we have some really nice days and then winter's like, haha, wrong! And yesterday, in fact, we had snow squalls to the point that there would be like whiteout conditions. And then it would just stop snowing, and you might have blue sky for a bit, and then snow squall. So I don't trust this sunshine at all, even while I am enjoying its glorious rays. Hi, welcome to the February update, because I'm trying to live my life the best I can. And that includes upping my medication, because my head was not helping me live my best life. So I did that this month, and it honestly has helped. You see, I started this medication to get my anxiety under control. And it seems like I got my anxiety under control, and then my depression, like, kicked down the door and was like, excellent, get in bed and stay there. And I was like, I don't like this. Like, because and a lot of people will look at me and be like, it's not that bad. Not even I say it's not that bad, because like I'll get up and do things. Like I've been going to the gym consistently for 2 months now. And I haven't missed class. But then I get home from either of those and crawl into bed and do nothing. So like it's that area of, I got called out by a TikTok for my depression's not that bad. And I was like, oh, maybe it's time I did something like this. So, met up with my nurse practitioner. I was like, this has been happening. She's like, any reason for it? I was like, yeah, I think I know the reason for it. And I do, but that's like a whole private thing. So, it's something I'm going through. I'm in the process of finding a therapist that I could speak to try and work through all of these things and figure things out. Fun times, but I was like, meanwhile, and she goes, well, the medication you have is actually good for treating both anxiety and depression, which is why is one of the reasons I gave it to you, because you scored pretty high on both of those. And I was like, yeah, can we up that? And she was like, yes. So now in the morning, I split one of my pills in half, and I take a pill and a half, and that little bit difference means that there are days where I don't crawl into bed and do nothing. There are still a few days where that does happen, but it is now like the minority. And I feel more like actually doing some things. So, in celebration of figuring out my mental health, or trying to, even if I can't figure out my own hair right now, I would like to show you some things that I have made in February. Because I also had reading week the same week that I went to the doctor, and I was like, please help me fix this. So I didn't have classes. And really that just meant I had 2 more days where I got to do things. But I got to do a really cool thing. February was the month where I had the 1-day stained glass art thing, and I'm now going to insert some video. This is Bernard. He's my bee. And he's fantastic. He's gonna get a buddy sometime in March. Is he not amazing? Is he not fantastic? Bernard the bee is the best. I mentioned a friend. I'm still not sure, but I kind of want to make another bee. But I want to make a blue bee, because these exist, they're rare, but like, I could pick some colors in that place. because coming up in March, on all the Fridays of March, plus the first one of April, also the last day of class for me, everything's lining up. Did I just... I think I'm watching a little too much TikTok. Just a little bit. Oh, so I have more stained glass classes. They're evening classes, and we're making another sun catcher like Mabi, and then a panel. So I want to sort of make a sky or galaxy themed panel to put in my bedroom, but I'm kind of tempted to make another bee for my sun catcher to hang out with Bernard. I want to name her Beatrice. Like, it just works. It just works. So along with the stained glass, I have been working on sort of the other hobbies that I've been picking up. First and foremost, sewing. So a couple of times this year hasn't even been that long, I have gone to the fabric store and should have immediately turned around and left, but instead have purchased things. So I've got fabric for practically 2 entire costumes, which are the next projects I'm working on. Like, I've cut the pattern for this next one. And then we were like, maybe I should start smaller. And I really wanted to make pillowcases for my living room, because it was sometime during the winter break, so I can't tell you if it was last year or this year. I got really sick and then was stupid and went to campus to do something and then vomited on campus and then called my parents in tears and they picked me up, and then I vomited outside of my apartment, and Mom spent the night on my couch to make sure that I didn't, like, choke on my own vomit. And she stole one of my pillows, and that tells you how much I was out of it that I did not even notice. But she stole one of my pillows, and that pillow has just been sitting out on my little love seat in the living room since then, because it's so much more comfy than the dinky little decorative pillows that came with it. So I was like, I want to make, like, proper pillows for this love seat. And Walmart had, like, full-size pillows of a nice consistently on sale for, like, $5. So I got 2 of them, and I was like, I need to find pillowcases. I couldn't find pillowcases. So Mom was like, this would be a fantastic sewing project. Let's go get some fabric for some pillowcases, because I find fabric much easier than, like, things I'm actually looking for. So we go, and she's like, let's go find some fabric. And then we found some fabric, but not for pillowcases. For curtains, for my galaxy-themed bedroom, where I already had curtains. I got it anyways. So needless to say, I made curtains. And I love it. Because as you can see, the pink stripe sort of lets a little more light in. So at night is the coolest thing, because there's just sort of these slightly pale stripes of light coming through. And if people know me well, they know full well I don't like super dark areas, aka I've off and on used nightlights because my anxiety is a dick. But, like, this is the best of both worlds. And if you're wondering, I did in fact find fabric for pillowcases too. And these ones are cool because it's the doubled up thing. We figured out how to do that. So over reading week, I made 2 curtains for my living room and then 2 pillowcases. And we continue to go, we have sort of sewing dates. The last one we had was an evening recently, I think it was Thursday evening, where I cut the pattern for my silver tongue costume. And then we were like, okay, let's pin and cut the fabric. It's slippery fabric. I got a walking foot for my sewing machine because Mom was like, your fabric was the same type of fabric I got. It's slippery as all get out. I didn't realize how bad it was until we were trying to just lay it on the table and it was just slip sliding everywhere. So this next step is going to be fire. So I'm excited for that. And our next sewing date is tomorrow. So I'm working on all of my apartment stuff today. Get that out of the way. As for, oh, did it turn off? Yeah, okay. Baking, I've tried 2 cake recipes from scratch. One of them, I misread and made some mistakes. The second one, I substituted some things and probably made some mistakes. They both tasted relatively okay, but they weren't precisely what I wanted. But that's the learning curve, isn't it? Right there. Learning curve. We're doing this. And then there's what I have set up behind me. This is currently for class, but as you can see, I now have a microphone. Isn't that nice? He's so fancy. He's not really that fancy. It's just basically a basic one. It's good for like podcasts or live play on YouTube is what the box said. But the reason why I need it is March, for the most part, is going to be working on projects. Because school only goes into the first week of April. April 3rd is the last day. And then I have a weekend, and I start back to work April 6th. Because I need the muns. So, if I can get major projects out of the way in March, I can do that. So, for a film class that I'm taking, we've had the option to write like a normal research paper, to do a curatorial project, or to do a video essay. And I have decided to do the video essay. So I needed a microphone and I've wanted one of these for a long time anyways. So this project was sort of the excuse to get the microphone. And as of today, I actually recorded all the voiceover lines that I have written in my script here. So the next step on this project is to actually film things. I'm not looking forward to that part. I'm not. And then we're going to put it all together, and then I found out that I have a written component that needs to go with it. aka I need to explain what I'm actually trying to do in the video so that the professor understands it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I understand that. So this is the project I'm really hoping to get done in March, because I think it's due much sooner in April, because we've known about this project for just since the beginning. And then the other major project I have, well, I still have a class where I've got like bits and pieces I've got to do, which is my community-based research, and we have the 3rd draft. So yesterday, we just handed in our 2nd draft of our research proposal. We have to present the final draft as our final project. So it's a bit of a delay until I get the 2nd draft back on that one. So might as well work on the project that I can, which is, I'm doing it. It's terrifying, but I'm doing it. So yeah, that's been my February for the most part. Mental breakdowns, artistic things, figuring out class. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I got a microphone now, so I can do some other cool projects. I don't know what cool projects, but I got a microphone now. I don't ever know how to end these things now. That's my February. There's your update. March, it's project work and more artistic endeavors to balance things out. See ya when I see ya. Sorry, I'm so bad at this.